For lab activity number 5, we are tasked to get the FFT and the IFFT of a given sequence. First thing we have to do, of course, is get the sequence from the user. Then that inputted sequence will be stored in the X variable. Then the length of that inputted sequence would be stored on the N variable. For the XK variable, it would store the fast Fourier transform, and you can get that by using the command FFT to the sequence, which is the X, and the length of the sequence, which is the N. Next is the XN variable, which is going to store the IFFT, and you can get that by using the command IFFT to the XK variable, which is the FFT. Then next, for this block of code right here, is to plot the input sequence. Subplot 221 features is the N and X. X-axis label would be this one. Y-axis label would be amplitude, and the title of the graph would be input sequence. Next is for graphing the magnitude response. It has subplot 222, and then the features would be N and the absolute value of the XK, which is the fast Fourier transform. X-axis label would be this one. Y-axis label would be magnitude, and the title of the graph would be magnitude response. Next one is the graph. This block of code is for the graph of the phase response. Subplot 223, the features of the graph would be N, and the angle of XK. X-axis label of the graph would be this one. Y-axis label of the graph would be phase, and the title of the graph would be phase response. Next, or the last one, is the graph for the IFFT. Subplot 224. Features would be the N and the XN. X-axis label would be this one. Y-axis label would be amplitude. Title of the graph would be IFFT. Say for the given sequence, say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The X would be obviously the sequence, which is the inputted one. The N would be the length, which is 5, because it has 5 points, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The XK is the FFT, which has obviously 5 points. This is the first one, second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. And then the XN would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then for the graph, we obviously have 4 since we plotted 4 in the code. The input sequence graph, the magnitude response, the phase response, and the IFFT.